Welcome to This Old Boat.
Welcome to Riverside Marina. Today we have a bayliner behind us with twin Volvo inboards, IOs, and we're going to show you how to winterize it. So, without any further ado, we're here in the engine compartment, and what I want to do is just explain how this system works. Right here is where we disconnected the intake hose from the outdrive, and this is also a cooler, an oil cooler, and we've connected the white hose from the antifreeze pump and connected it to the intake hose for the engine, and that's how we're going to run the antifreeze through the engine. What we've done, we've already ran this engine up to temperature so that antifreeze from both tanks has enough time to circulate, and also you want the thermostats in the block to open up. The engine's running, and we have our catch basin set up underneath. And what we're doing here is we're catching the antifreeze from the outdrive and bringing it back to the... One of the last things that we want to do to this engine is we want to fog it. We have fogging fluid here, and we want to take the flame arrestor off, and we're going to pour the fogging fluid down into the intake of the carburetor and start the engine. We've already done the winterization on the engine. Now we're going to show you some potential problems that you may have with your outdrive. We want to check the upper bellows and some hoses, and we're going to check the oil also. Now see, we have a problem with this outdrive. This outdrive has water in it. So we're going to have to drain this totally and pressurize the outdrive to see where the leak is. We've had some water in the oil, so what we're going to do is we're going to check a couple of possibilities as far as where it could be coming from. We've removed the screws in this cover, and we're going to take this cover. It's probably going to have to be replaced. We have to pressurize the outdrive though to make sure and see if we have oil coming out of this under pressure, or vacuum if we lose vacuum. The other thing that we want to check for is the bellows for the CV joint. You want to tilt the outdrive all the way to one side, turn it, and make sure that the rubber bellows doesn't have any cracks or holes or whatever else. The correct way to really do it would be to remove the whole outdrive and inspect the bellows off of the crafts. One of the other potential problems that we have with these outdrives, on a Volvo anyway, is the reverse lock. So what you want to look for is right in here, there's a locking mechanism. You have to make sure that that's free and clear. We're going to conclude with this outdrive segment, and we want to tell you two major points. One being that back in here, you'll see a 3/4 hose which is hooked to the outdrive. That's your water intake hose. You also want to check that and make sure that that's in good shape and that it's not dry rotted or cracked. And the other thing is refilling the outdrive with oil. You keep checking your dipstick tube up at the top, and there'll be a line on the dipstick tube, and when it's up to the top of this line, that's when it's filled. You want to go slowly so you don't overfill it. If you've done all that and your outdrive checks out okay, your outdrive's good for the winter and for next year. Now we're moving on to the freshwater system winterization. What I've done already is I've drained the hot water heater down. There's no need to run antifreeze through it as long as all the water's out of it. So I've put a bypass valve in between these two lines for the hot water heater, so it bypasses the hot water heater totally. We're ready to turn on this water system now, which I'm going to do right here. And what we want to see is we want to see a real good flow of antifreeze, which we will also test later on to make sure that it's comparable to what we have coming out of the bottle, which is -50. The reason why we want to winterize this shower drain is because it will freeze in the wintertime. There's a small box that's located underneath of the deck that the water drains into, and it has a float with a pump that pumps it overboard, and it will freeze and crack that. Now we're winterizing the head. I filled the urinal with -50 Camco, which is also a non-toxic antifreeze, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump it from the head into the holding tank. The only other thing that you may want to check for, being as we have the freshwater system and the head done, is dockside water valves. It's been another beautiful day on the water. This is Captain Tom, and thanks for watching. And tune in for another episode.